Before we delve into the tale that awaits, do take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do share in the comments the place that captures your heart as you join us in this moment. I am Lucy, a woman of 36 years, embracing the complexities of life and love. Today, I wish to unveil a captivating tale of self-discovery and the delicate art of healing. A conversation with my nephew Liam stirred within me a deeper contemplation of self-worth and the pursuit of personal dreams, reshaping my view on life's intricate tapestry. It all began on a tranquil spring evening, a moment filled with the promise of renewal and the intoxicating allure of blossoming desires. Yet for me it seemed more like an extended embrace of solitude, steeped in a deep longing that stirred the heart. William, my husband, had departed the house earlier that day, rushing off to the construction site to finalize a project with some clients, leaving a lingering sense of anticipation in the air. His work had become a relentless pursuit, with long hours and intense days weaving a tapestry of exhaustion that enveloped him. For the past 3 months, I had become familiar with the silence that enveloped our home, as he often vanished for days, leaving me in solitude, which stole away our chances for intimate connection. On that fateful evening, the burden of my solitude pressed down on me, a palpable ache that lingered in the air. Exhaustion enveloped me, not merely in body but in spirit, as the solitude wrapped around me like a heavy cloak, one I found increasingly difficult to cast aside. Seeking refuge from the world, I chose to slip beneath the sheets early, surrendering to the quiet that wrapped around the vacant home like a lover's embrace. The tranquility of the night enveloped me, a warm embrace that whispered secrets of solace, offering the comfort I craved in the depths of my soul. As I reclined in the soft embrace of the night, my thoughts began to drift, and I felt myself gently surrendering to a delicate slumber. In the beginning, I believed I was ensnared in a dream, adrift in a tranquil slumber that blurred the lines of reality. As I gradually opened my eyes, I was taken aback to see Liam in my room, an expression of tension etched across his features as he held a notebook close to his chest, as if it contained secrets meant only for us. He lingered in the doorway, a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes, caught between the desire to rouse me from slumber and the temptation to slip away unnoticed. "Forgive me for disturbing your slumber, Sophie," he murmured, his voice a soft caress in the dim light. "This notebook is essential for my college assignment, and it seems to elude me at every turn." His sudden appearance took me by surprise, stirring a mix of emotions I hadn't anticipated. Liam had always exuded a certain charm, his politeness and consideration making him a gentleman in every sense. Yet, finding him in my room at such an hour stirred a thrill of unexpected intrigue. I swiftly propped myself up in bed, smoothing my nightgown as I endeavored to dispel the lingering traces of slumber. A warm smile spread across my face as I gazed at him, appreciating the depth of our conversation. "Fear not, Liam, everything is as it should be. Why don't you take a moment to sit with me?" I motioned to the chair beside my bed, a silent invitation for him to linger a little longer. He paused, his gaze flickering between the chair and me, a silent battle of desire and restraint, before finally yielding to my invitation and sinking into the seat. As our conversation unfolded, I felt the heavy burden of his scholarly demands lingering in the air between us. He confided in me about the trials he was navigating in his last year of college, his voice laced with a blend of resolve and exasperation, drawing me closer to his world. As he spoke, I found myself captivated by the undeniable transformation he had undergone since our last encounter, a blend of allure and depth that stirred something within me. He had shed the innocence of youth, transforming into a man whose complexities stirred something deep within me. He had evolved into a contemplative young man, possessing intelligence, sensitivity, and dreams that had long captivated my admiration. "Thank you for being there, Sophie. At times it feels nearly impossible to discover a confidant for these intimate thoughts and feelings," he confessed, a bashful smile playing at the corners of his lips. His vulnerability resonated deeply within me, and I replied with sincerity, "I will always be by your side." In that fleeting moment, I felt a stirring reminder of the significance of authentic connections, a yearning that had quietly lingered in the depths of my own existence. That night our conversation wrapped around me like a warm embrace, stirring emotions I had long kept hidden, igniting a spark I couldn't resist. Unbeknownst to me, That evening would herald the dawn of an unforeseen and tantalizing journey. In the days that followed, Liam wove himself into the fabric of my existence, his presence becoming a tantalizing constant. Our exchanges grew more frequent, transforming into a delightful distraction from the dull rhythm of my daily life. He became the solace that filled the void left by William's endless hours at work, providing a sanctuary of understanding and intimacy in the depths of my solitude. Our encounters often unfolded in the warmth of the kitchen or the intimacy of my bedroom, where we delved into a tapestry of conversations, ranging from his college escapades to the cherished memories we held of our families. On a certain evening following one of our intimate conversations, an undeniable tension hung in the air. As we delved deeper into a captivating discussion about his studies and dreams for the future, Liam unexpectedly asked a question that sent a shiver down my spine. "Have you ever considered chasing after your deepest desires, Sophie?" he inquired, a spark of intrigue flickering in his gaze. His question hung in the air, a tantalizing whisper that caught me off guard, for it had been ages since anyone had dared to ask me such a thing. I paused, allowing the weight of my thoughts to settle before responding with unguarded sincerity. I confided in him my long-buried desires, the dreams I once cherished but had slowly allowed to fade into the shadows. I revealed that my life with William, while undeniably comfortable, often felt like a gilded cage. The more time he poured into his projects, the more it seemed to create a chasm between us, rather than bridging the distance that had begun to grow. Liam's gaze held me captive, a blend of deep understanding and tender compassion swirling in his eyes. "It must be quite challenging, dear aunt. I've always perceived you as a pillar of strength, yet even the strongest among us crave a tender embrace," he murmured gently. His words stirred something profound within me. I had become so familiar with being the steadfast support for those around me. Yet in that fleeting moment, I uncovered a deep yearning for emotional solace of my own. In his vibrant youth and genuine understanding, Liam offered me a solace I hadn't realized I craved, awakening feelings I thought were long buried. As the night deepened, an undeniable chemistry enveloped us, weaving an intoxicating bond that felt both thrilling and forbidden. We reveled in laughter, whispered our secrets, and forged a connection that transcended my wildest dreams. In a fleeting moment, I became aware that a delicate transformation had taken place. I felt the intensity of Liam's gaze, the inviting warmth of his smile, and the profound mystery that lingered in his eyes. I attempted to dismiss these emotions as mere byproducts of solitude and fragility, yet they lingered, impossible to overlook. His presence reminded me of the dreams and aspirations I had once set aside. He interrupted my reverie with a gentle suggestion to rest, and as he turned to leave, his words lingered in the air, a promise that he would always be there, should I ever seek him out. That night, a swirl of intense emotions enveloped me, each one vying for attention in the dim light of desire. In the solitude of my thoughts, that evening's exchange unveiled the profound significance of candid dialogue, and the delicate balance of respect that weaves through the fabric of any connection. In the weeks that followed, Liam's presence grew increasingly familiar, particularly on those sultry nights when William found himself working late into the evening. Our encounters, once filled with casual exchanges and gentle encouragement, gradually evolved into something far more profound and intoxicating. On a sultry afternoon, feeling the weight of the distance that had crept between William and me, I found myself reaching out to Liam. He arrived shortly after, finding solace in the secluded embrace of the garden. We shared whispers of countless topics to soothe my restless thoughts. Yet there was an undeniable tension in the air that evening, something that stirred the depths of my being. Liam stirred within me the vibrant energy and fervent passion of youth, a feeling I had long since buried beneath the weight of time. His words stirred a deep yearning within me, awakening a passion to pursue my own desires once more. I attempted to rationalize my emotions as mere echoes of solitude, yet with each moment of contemplation, it became increasingly clear that an undeniable tension was brewing between us. In a charged instant, as Liam bent to pick up the notebook that had slipped from his grasp, our fingers grazed, igniting an unspoken tension between us. It was a brief caress, yet it sparked an undeniable tension between us that hung in the atmosphere, intoxicating and forbidden. As our gazes locked, an electric tension surged between us, an unspoken acknowledgement of the forbidden allure that had been simmering just beneath the surface. Is everything all right? He inquired, his voice laced with a hint of worry. Yet beneath it lay an unspoken intensity that stirred something within me. I nodded, captivated by the electric tension that had ignited between us. We found ourselves enveloped in a silence, rich with unvoiced sentiments, the sort that lingered in the atmosphere, laden with significance. It was Liam who finally shattered the enchantment, his voice lowering to a sultry whisper. This feels all wrong. I inhaled deeply, my heart pounding as I withdrew my hand, fully aware that the emotions we had ignited would linger, refusing to fade away. It was on a night steeped in unspoken desires that the true connection between Liam and me ignited, the air thick with an intensity that seemed destined to unfold. Our playful banter flowed as it always did, yet an unmistakable tension lingered, hinting at unspoken desires that danced just beneath the surface. Our conversation deepened, becoming more personal and intimate, and I felt us teetering on the edge of an unspoken boundary, one that had the power to alter everything between us. If you're still captivated by this tale and feel a spark of inspiration, leave a 1 in the comments to show me you're still here, sharing this moment with me. As our conversation unfolded, Liam leaned in, retrieving the notebook he had carelessly let slip once more, and in that fleeting moment, our fingers brushed against each other, igniting an electric spark between us. This moment transcended mere coincidence. His fingers wove through mine, igniting a thrill that danced along my spine. As our eyes met, I felt an electric pull, a shared longing that danced in the depths of his gaze, igniting a fire that burned fiercely in the space between us. I'm uncertain of what this all means, yet I cannot turn away from it, I murmured, my heart racing as I sought the perfect words to convey the tempest of feelings churning within me. I can't say for certain, Nina, he said with a deep sincerity, but perhaps we can navigate this uncharted territory side by side. With a reassuring gaze, Liam offered a comforting embrace, his presence filling the room with warmth. It was a gesture steeped in warmth and intimacy, and I found myself clinging to him, savoring the comforting weight of his body pressed against mine. In that instant, I felt the weight of inevitability pressing down on me, as the long-buried longing I had fought to contain finally erupted, overwhelming my senses. That night, our conversation ventured into uncharted depths, igniting a spark that felt both thrilling and forbidden. We shared whispers of our regrets, unveiled our dreams, and explored the unspoken desires that linger in the shadows. In that fleeting instant of profound understanding, I found myself gazing at life through a lens that revealed its hidden depths and unspoken desires. All notions of right and wrong slipped into the shadows as we gave ourselves over to the intoxicating allure of the moment. In the aftermath of that fervent kiss, silence enveloped us, our breaths mingling in the air, each inhalation heavy with the intoxicating surge of emotions that had been set free. Liam, this is utterly wild, I murmured, the electric thrill of our connection still pulsing within me. I understand, Nina, but I find myself unable to resist. I long to be near you, he murmured, his voice laced with an earnestness that stirred something profound within me. In silence, I surrendered to the intoxicating heat of the moment, drawing him close once again. Our bond deepened through heartfelt conversations, bringing forth emotions I had long suppressed. The atmosphere in the room crackled with an intoxicating energy, drawing us closer together. As time passed, Liam's gentle persuasion opened my eyes to a world of possibilities I had never dared to explore. In the midst of my mundane existence, it was our whispered exchanges that ignited a spark within me, urging me to welcome the allure of transformation. The connection we forged that night went beyond mere physicality. It created an intimate bond, as if we had finally unlocked a way to express the desires we had long kept hidden. As we surrendered to the embrace of slumber, entwined in each other's warmth, a profound tranquility enveloped me, a feeling I had long yearned for but never found. Yet, beneath the surface, an unsettling awareness lingered, whispering that this cherished joy was not without its price. In the weeks that followed, we found ourselves entwined in a tempest of feelings and hidden rendezvous, each shared moment a fragile dance of discretion and longing. We poured our hearts into ensuring that no evidence of our encounters remained, a pursuit that only heightened the excitement of our secret love. Every clandestine meeting was laced with an intoxicating blend of affection and the ever-present thrill of potential exposure, yet we were irresistibly pulled to one another, night after night. One evening as we lay entwined, exploring the depths of everything that had unfolded between us. A charged atmosphere enveloped us, thick with unspoken fears and deep emotion. "Nina, I wonder how much longer we can maintain this delicate dance," Liam murmured, his voice thick with tension. "We must tread lightly. Perhaps we can discover a path that allows us to be entwined, while safeguarding all that we hold dear." His gaze held a weight I seldom encountered, a rare intensity that sent a shiver down my spine, stirring a flicker of hope deep within my heart. We found ourselves in a delicate dance, choosing to embrace the secrecy of our connection, carefully navigating the shadows to remain unseen. Yet, with each stolen moment, the depth of our emotions only intensified, drawing us closer in a way that felt both exhilarating and forbidden. Every meeting became a delicate dance of ephemeral passion, intertwined with the tantalizing thrill of the illicit. With a voice laced with longing, I unveiled my innermost emotions. "My heart aches in your absence, Liam. I find myself yearning for you more with each passing moment. It seems the moment has passed for retreating into the shadows of the past." With a hushed intensity, Liam proposed that we continue our clandestine meetings, but only with the utmost care. "We must tread carefully," he declared with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. I nodded, understanding that this was the path we had to take for now. In that moment we forged our secret bond, choosing to shroud our connection in shadows. Aware of the dangers that lurked, we were resolute, willing to confront them for the passion that entwined our souls. One sultry evening, as we found ourselves entwined in the intimacy of my room, a sound echoed from the living room, pulling us momentarily from our private world. That moment unveiled the truth that hiding away and evading the reality would never mend the fractures within me. I found it essential to embrace honesty, both within my own heart and with those who share my world. His skin was ashen, and a shiver of remorse coursed through me. He acquiesced, his voice quivering with a mix of excitement and apprehension, suggesting that we must tread more cautiously. I acquiesced, acknowledging the truth in his words. We had been fortunate in that moment, yet we knew we couldn't depend on such serendipity indefinitely. We had to navigate our desires with a cleverness that whispered secrets, ensuring our passions remained veiled in shadows. Yet, I could see in his gaze that a lingering doubt still danced beneath the surface, as if the shadows of uncertainty had yet to be fully dispelled. I understood that completely breaking free from their grasp would be a formidable challenge. 2 weeks after that fateful encounter, Liam found himself consumed by the weight of his final exams, the culmination of his college journey. As time passed, an unsettling wave of nausea washed over me, lingering for weeks and casting a shadow over my days. Deep within, an unsettling truth lingered, and the burden of my emotions pressed down on me like a forbidden secret, heavy and consuming. I attempted to push it aside, resisting the urge to linger on the thoughts that beckoned me closer. Upon William's return from a project he had poured his heart into, he proposed a getaway to mark the occasion, igniting a spark of excitement between us. I acquiesced, though I confessed that a wave of illness washed over me, compelling me to seek solace in the sterile embrace of the hospital. With a sense of urgency, William reached out to a doctor, inviting them into our intimate space. As the hours slipped away, following the tests that weighed heavily on my mind, I came to understand that the choices I had made were not merely fleeting decisions. They were threads woven into the fabric of my future, demanding my acceptance and responsibility. This moment marked a pivotal shift, an invitation to reshape my existence and embrace the desires that truly ignited my soul. "How could this unfold?" he inquired, disbelief lacing his voice, as a subtle urgency began to seep through. It had been a while since we had indulged in any intimate encounters, and he appeared to struggle with the dissonance between this unexpected truth and the nature of our bond. A rush of guilt enveloped me, constricting my heart as I acquiesced to his inquiry, the burden of my decisions heavy upon my soul. We found ourselves entwined in conversation about a journey, one that promised to rekindle the flames of our connection. I had hesitantly consented to embark on this adventure, yearning for the possibility of uncovering deeper truths along the way. Yet upon our return home, an undeniable urge to face the truth washed over me. I steeled myself to unveil the intricacies of the situation, my heart quickening at the anticipation of what lay ahead. Once I had unveiled every intricate detail, Exposing my heart and the complex tapestry of emotions that had ensnared me, William rose suddenly, as if the weight of my confession had shifted the very air between us. The weight of unspoken words lingered in the air as he meticulously folded his clothes, each movement steeped in a bittersweet finality that resonated through the quiet space between them. In silence he severed all ties, leaving me in a state of heartbreak, standing there, abandoned and profoundly solitary. The weight of guilt enveloped me, a heavy shroud that clung to my skin, leaving me breathless and yearning for release. The weight of my lost desires lingered in the shadows, a bittersweet reminder of the paths I had chosen. Yet, in the midst of this chaos, I discovered that my emotions for Liam had intensified, evolving into a profound connection I had never foreseen. Entangled in the fervor of my emotions for him, and the weight of my past missteps, I found myself paralyzed, unable to unveil the truth that lingered in the shadows. I wished for Liam to pursue his internship at the university, free from the weight of my entanglements. At this moment I found myself at a crossroads, engulfed by a whirlwind of deep and conflicting feelings. The burden of my choices lingered like a shadow in the stillness of the night, as I found myself entangled in the web of the life I had woven. A wave of guilt washed over me as I thought of William, my once devoted husband, yet intertwined with that remorse was the intoxicating warmth of the connection I had discovered with Liam, a bond that had irrevocably altered the course of my life. Days melted into one another as I wandered through this intricate emotional terrain. Liam persisted in his pursuit, an unshakable instinct whispering to him that all was not as it seemed. I tried to maintain a facade of strength, yet within me, the weight of my hidden truths was slowly unraveling my composure. The desire to share my deepest secrets with him consumed me. I longed to unburden my soul, yet the weight of fear kept me silent. Fear gripped me as I contemplated his possible reaction, a deep-seated dread of losing him forever. On a sun-drenched afternoon, nestled in the garden that had borne witness to our many secret exchanges, Liam finally chose to confront me. "Lucy, there seems to be a chasm between us lately. Is there something stirring beneath the surface? You can share your deepest secrets with me," he murmured, his voice laced with a sincere tenderness that hinted at something more forbidden. My heart quickened, caught in a moment of uncertainty, as the burden of my hidden truth enveloped me like a powerful tide. "It's a tangled web, Liam. I've been swept away by emotions, and as I finally found the words to respond, my eyes fell to the ground, evading the intensity of his gaze. Yet, Liam remained unconvinced. "Surely you must feel the depth of my affection for you, don't you? No matter what challenges lie ahead, we shall confront them side by side." His words wrapped around me like a lifeline, but I remained submerged, suffocating in the weight of my own decisions. As I gazed into his eyes, the depth of trust and love reflected back at me stirred something profound within, igniting a bittersweet ache in my heart. I found myself at a crossroads, torn between the desire to reveal my truth and the fear of losing everything I held dear, or to remain ensnared in deception, risking the chance of losing him for eternity. The truth lingered like a forbidden secret, simmering just out of reach, and I understood that this weight was too heavy to bear in solitude any longer.